Dreaming of a vacation in Paris with art, intrigue, and a little romance? Then pick up Lost and Found in Paris by me, Leanne Dolan, an art history treasure hunt in the City of Light. Available from William Morrow wherever books are sold.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. Great to be with you today. I'm Leanne Dolan in Pasadena, California. I'm a writer, I'm a producer, I'm a novelist, and today my book, Lost and Found in Paris, is out in paperback. So, yay for me, yay for me.
Congratulations.
All right, here's our question of the day, and there's going to be a follow-up discussion. Where would you like to hole up for 500 days? That's not a cave. All right, save your answer because we're going to discuss this very strange story later. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Saving.
All right, I'm saving it. Okay. Jill, do you
Jill.
want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Oh, you want me to answer the question?
No, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell people who you are.
The way we do every week.
Sorry. This is so confusing. This is. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm Julie Dolan, and I'm here in Dallas, Texas. No, and I'm a podcaster, and I'm happy to be with you. Is that all right? Is that what you wanted me to say?
You nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Liz?
I'm Liz Dolan. I'm in Santa Monica, California. I have one warning. Right before we started this, I went out to my living room to get something and I saw that there was a bird flying around in my living room. So I just came back into my back bedroom where I record. I shut the door. Hooper is in here with me, but he seems to have figured out there's a bird out there. So he's now just like standing with his nose to the door, just like, so if you start sparking, that's all that is. It's just bird in living room. Anyway, that's all. That's all I have to say is my intro today.
Woo. Okay. All right. The animals are taking over. I think we know that.
Yes.
I think we know that. All right. We have a lot to cover. First of all, we had a big fun weekend watching how many people signed up for our big fun weekend. So we're going to give you an update on our October event in Minneapolis, the Satellite Sisters Big Fun Weekend. Don't delay. We're going to talk about work today, returning to work, working at home with the coworker, what happens when you stop working. We're going to talk about all those news stories. Julie, you have a parenting tip for us, something called looking loudly?
Yes, I read about this, and I really want to share this because I think it will help if you have children, and then it may also help, I'll explain, if you have girlfriends. Okay, I'll explain it.
Okay, good. And then Liz, you weren't at Coachella. None of us were, let's face it. But you have some Coachella alternatives. Is that what?
I have a suggestion, something we could try to get into that's Coachella adjacent, and I don't think we're too old for this. So I'm just going to pitch you on that idea. But it's this weekend, so you got to get organized.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to our question of the week that really seemed to stump Julie. Okay, there was a story on Friday that came out. There's a Spanish woman. She's an extreme athlete. She's 50 years old, and she spent 500 days living alone in a cave that was 7 below the Earth's surface.
Oh.
Okay? 500 days. Now,
Okay. I can see why this got your attention, Leanne.
Did she get a prize for this? Earn money? Was she live streaming it?
She was live streaming some stuff. And good news, Julie, there will be a documentary. So if this doesn't sound horrifying enough, you'll be able to watch a documentary about it. But it was just this idea, like there was some testing going on. She just wanted to try this out. She was monitored by a team of scientists from some universities in Spain. And she now has broken the record for the longest time a person has spent alone in a cave. So who knew that was a deal? But she was shocked that anyone cared. She said, I was expecting to come out and have a shower. I just wasn't expecting there to be so much interest. All right.
Okay.
But
I'm shocked too, frankly.
well, I think you have to think about why would you do that? A, and B, like, what would you do all day? So she passed the time by reading, writing, drawing, and knitting. Okay, that which
So
sounds
she
like
had some amenities. She had some amenities
Yes.
in this cave.
Yeah.
Okay. She wasn't
Some.
just in a cold, dark cave for 500 days.
no. So I want to say, Julie,
Some
some,
of
not a lot. Again, it's 70 meters below the Earth's surface. We don't know how deep that is because we're Americans, but it sounds pretty deep. Okay.
How did she feed herself, Leanne? Did she have
She
500 days worth of food? Like,
she did have some food, and then there was some swap in and swap out because she had to get rid of her personal business. I'll just say that. So there was a swap out for that. Every like once a week she had a collection thing. But she said, I'm cooking, I'm drawing. To me it sounds like what every 50-year-old woman wants. 500 days by themselves where they can just knit, read, cook, and draw, right?
yeah.
So
I
she
mean, was she talking to people on the phone or anything?
no. There's
Watching
no contact.
Netflix? No, no contact. So
No, there's no contact. So Julie, I'm glad you asked that because she said she did talk to herself, but not out loud. She thought that would be a sign that she was really losing it. So she just talked to herself in her head. But I got to say, I talk to myself out loud every single day, all day long. So,
yes, we heard you shortly before we started this podcast. You were just muttering away.
she read 60 books and she used two cameras to chronicle her experience for the documentary. She said there was at no time that she was super panicked, except she did have, this sounds disgusting, an invasion of flies. Ugh, okay. Oh, right.
All right. Well, what about, did she have a treadmill? What was her exercise routine?
Yeah, because she's an advanced athlete, so she did have an exercise routine.
I don't think some rock climbing.
Yeah, I don't think she had a treadmill.
The cave wall.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that big. So she did some weightlifting and some calisthenics and things like that. But again, it wasn't like a Batman's lair. It was just a cave, people. So, but here, this made me laugh out loud when I read this. One of the reporters said, "Did you have any cravings?" And she said, "Yes, I had an uncontrolled craving for roast chicken with potatoes."
Wow.
It's just like the most totally average thing.
Yeah, but that sounds delicious. Like, okay, once again,
couldn't they send that down in the cave? I don't understand.
You're alone.
I don't understand her cave rules because it seems like she made up her own cave rules. And
when you do it, Julie, you will get to make up your own cave rules.
Oh,
well, she wanted to be healthy, so like that's why you can't just 500 days of poo, as she says. Like that's no good. You can't have that in the cave with you. But essentially, she was alone in the cave, so that's it. So. And she came out and she was ecstatic when she came out. She was happy. And someone said, you look so happy. And she's like, of course, if you had a dream and you fulfilled it, would you come out crying? This was her dream, Julie, to spend 500 days in a cave. So I'm asking you both, like, if you had to spend 500 days somewhere, because none of us are spending 500 days in a cave alone, right? Like in a relatively confined space, what would it be? What would your choice be?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go first because I didn't understand the question the first time, and I'm just going to blurt out my answer now, which is there's no way I would do this, Leanne. No way. There's no way I am staying put for 500 days. It's just not happening. I'm busting out, okay? Whatever it is, whatever you put me in, I'm going to break out of it. So don't even think about it. Okay, that's my answer.
Okay.
All right.
Way to play along for fun. Okay. Liz.
Okay, if I was going to be alone in a small space and have food delivered to me once a week, I think the first two words would have to be 4 seasons. That's it.
Okay.
But any 4 seasons. But that would be fine. In a hotel room, a nice hotel room for 500 days, I could manage. I could do that.
Yeah, I think you could, Liz. Yeah, you could. I would pick a small apartment like in Greenwich Village because I would like to have something to I would like to look out the window.
Yeah.
Right? It's the being underground that would bother me. So, but if I had like a lot to watch out the window, that'd be fine. I think I could totally be fine. So
no, could not. I'd just be trapped. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad she made it out. I hope. What's she going to do now, Liam? What?
I don't know.
She's going to make the documentary, Julie.
So there you go. That's the process.
She's an extreme athlete. Now she'll go climb the walls. Something, literally.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped on your thing. You were supposed to go first. Julie.
I did. But so I did want to tell you about earlier this week. I was not in a cave, but I was in my bathroom and I looked down at my box of Kleenex in the bathroom. And on the side, and this was Kleenex brand. Okay. That's important, I think. And I looked on the side of the box. You know how they have different patterns. I always try to pick something that kind of goes with my bathroom, whatever. I see that there's a message on the side of the Kleenex box, and it says, "Healing is never linear." Whoa. Whoa. Yes, that's what I said too, Liam. I said, whoa, what is that? What is this message? That's a lot of encouragement on the side of a box, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I just was, is this something? Did I miss something about Kleenex tissue that they're now sending messages out to the universe to help us?
Yeah.
Because it's so true, right? Healing is never linear.
Oh, good. Yes.
Never.
So true. Well, I just think, Julie, that brands all need a deeper meaning, right? Like,
Okay.
So Kleenex obviously thought about what is our why? That's what they say in all these brand management brainstorming sessions. What is our why? So they've obviously decided that healing is their why. That's it. That's what I'm getting
About self-care, and it's never linear. So now I'm just fixated on Kleenex boxes. I'm just checking them out wherever they are. I went to pick up my husband at the gym. They had a Kleenex box there. I'm looking on the side. Is there another message for me? I don't know. I know. So this could be just a marketing campaign. I don't know. But to me, I'm just going to take this message in, and I suggest that you all check your Kleenex boxes.
See, I feel like you could spend 500 days in a cave if if you're satisfied with reading the Kleenex box.
Okay, wow. Bang up start to the show today, but let's have the big update on the big fun weekend. So we announced a couple weeks ago that Satellite Sisters is doing a big fun weekend in Minneapolis, Minnesota, October 13th, 14th, and 15th. And the tickets went on sale this past Saturday. And we were very excited. Weren't we, sisters? Like,
Yes.
we'd happen.
We didn't know. It's like we put something out there. What would people respond?
We have never done anything like this before. And I was on duty this weekend as tech support because everyone else was busy. But also we have a super great event organizer helping us do all of this. Her name is Sarah Alice. So I knew that, between Sarah Alice and me, if any issues came up, that we could handle them. And a few issues did come up, and we did handle them. And then, Leon, we just had a big fun weekend with sales, didn't we?
We did. I can tell you this. We honestly blew through our goals for the weekend. We had said, at one point, I think I said, I'll be happy if 25 people sign up. And we have blown, that's how little we think of ourselves. And so, 23 years on the air, if we can get one person per year to show up, that seems good. We blew through our goals for the weekend, but many times over what we anticipated. It was very exciting to get the counts. We just want to thank everybody who signed up early and signed up this weekend. We were really cheered by your messages on social media about who you were bringing to the Satellite Sisters Big Fun Weekend. We have moms and sisters coming. We have teams of sisters coming. We have husbands and wives coming, sisters and brothers coming, but also lots and lots of solo tickets. So that is great because our message for the weekend is bring a friend, make a friend. Like, we really think this is going to be a friendly, easy to be absorbed kind of weekend. So you shouldn't feel hesitant about coming alone. And people do not seem to be hesitant about coming alone, which is great. And we were overwhelmed by the response. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic.
Yeah. And so we have a list of like where all the orders came from. which is super interesting to look at. Of course, Minneapolis, there's a reason we chose Minnesota. Number one state, Minnesota, yay. And then, California is the next biggest. And then there's a smattering. Half of all states already are going to be represented. Half.
Wow.
So I think we should have as a goal to get to all 50 states.
Yes. Okay.
We would and then we'll do some kind of state parade or something if we accomplish that.
Well, we're going to get you one of those big boards, the electronic maps of the country, Liz, like on election night. And you
Give Kornacki big.
Yes, yeah, but you could just be doing delegate counts for each of the states.
Okay, there are a few states I want to call out. First of all, the drivable states, Iowa, Illinois, even South Dakota, already on the board. On the board. That's great. Kansas, Nebraska, I Googled this. Okay, they're not on the board yet, but it's totally doable. Of course, I have no idea how far Nebraska is from Minneapolis.
Liz.
I mean, you could have Googled that, but okay.
So I Googled that. It's totally doable.
Oh, okay.
So anyone in the driving zone, I encourage you to think about that. Then right now we have North Carolina, but no South Carolina. And I feel like North and South Carolina could carpool if you got in. So, North Carolina, well done. South Carolina, we're waiting. And then there are just some states that need to be a little more ambitious. Massachusetts, you've only got one person on the board. Michigan, only one person on the board. And Missouri, 0 people on the board. So wow. The M states, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, we believe in you. We know you can do it. I feel like we could get our numbers up in all 3 of those states. That's all I'm saying. That's okay. That's it. But so happy we have so many people. Oh, and I didn't even mention Canada on the board. Yes. British Columbia on the board. So
Canada, we're happy they're going to be there. So let's review some of the fun that's going to be in store for this weekend. First of all, it's in October, okay? Best month of the year all the way around. So a wonderful time to get together. We'll all be together. As Liz said, we miss your faces. We're going to be together, okay? Friday night, we're going to have a big opening event with fresh refreshments and snacks at a downtown event space. And they're going to be icebreakers. So if you're coming solo, you're going to meet some people, okay? If you're coming in a group, you're going to meet other groups, okay? You're going to meet the sisters, okay? We're all going to be there. So it will be a great time to get to know each other. On Saturday, we are going to, you can watch a live taping of the actual podcast. You'll see us in action. You'll see us with our notes. Maybe we'll have our glasses on. Who knows? It's going to be very exciting. But then, of course, one of the big finales is we're going to have a dinner and a Mamma Mia dance party, okay? So we want costumes. I want you to rewatch the movie to get inspired, okay? And then we're going to have more fun in store that we can't disclose at this point because we haven't really cooked it up yet, but it's going to be outstanding, okay? I have already, even this morning, I ran by a couple of excellent ideas by my sisters, and they loved him. Didn't you love my ideas?
Yes, Julie. You have a lot of ideas. Yes, you do.
have a lot of ideas for fun. So it is going to be a big fun weekend. It's going to be so worthwhile. You're going to have time together, time by yourself. You're going to be in a great city. So please come.
Yeah. And Sunday morning, we'll have a little no-host farewell breakfast. So you get to, take as many photos as you want and collect everyone's contacts. That's going to be good. But one thing we haven't mentioned yet is big fun sponsorship. So I want to mention, this is all posted at satellitesisters.com. We do have sponsorships available at many levels. Presenting sponsor, supporting sponsors. So do you run or work for like a big brand or a service company that you think needs to get in on the big fun Satellite Sisters action? We have packages for that. But most of all, we created a special category. We know we have a lot of Satellite Sisters listeners who you have your own products, services, or businesses that you might want to promote. So we have a category that's called the Satellite Sisters Look What I Do Big Fun Package. And you'll get to display or demo whatever you do in the room where we do the live podcast. You'll be able to put whatever you want on display and show it to all of the Satellite Sisterhood. So the details of the Look What I Do Big Fun Package is also on the website. So there you go, big fun sponsorship. It starts now. And there's an email. The email address for all things related to the event is bigfunweekend@satellitesisters.com. So read the list of what the sponsorship deals are, and then email us if you have a suggestion or a thought or a question.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I just want to remind people the official hotel is the Hilton in downtown Minneapolis. We do have a special room rate, but that filled up quickly. We have secured.
We were so shocked.
We were shocked. We were just shocked. We couldn't believe it. So thank you. We're glad everyone is interested in staying in the Hilton. That's fantastic. It'll be all fun to be all together. And we have secured a few more rooms at our special rate. So I would say to this, if you are interested in staying at the Hilton, do not delay. We don't have an endless supply of rooms at this room rate. So go ahead and book those hotels and buy your tickets now. If you think you're going to, now would be the time to do it. You can go to satellitesisters.com. Right there on the homepage, there's a big button that says for more information. Click through, you'll get to the Big Fun Weekend page, and then you can click through to buy your tickets and reserve your hotels. But that's just a reminder, the hotel rooms will sell out for sure. So if you're interested in those, please jump on that as soon as you can. All right.
Yeah.
Big Fun.
One thing we guarantee, way better than 500 days in a cave.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, for sure.
Liz, one of the most relaxing things you can do during your week is to go over to jennykane.com and just look at their website because it's so aesthetically pleasing, minimalistic. It's the California dream, Liz, at jennykane.com. I mean,
You
it's
know,
unbelievable.
The first part of the California dream is putting on that cashmere cocoon sweater I have from Jenny Kane. But last week I was vacationing in another part of California, Leanne. I was actually in Montecito with a friend. And there were I'm obsessed with Jenny Kane anyway, which I've told her. And then all of a sudden there were 2 Jenny Kane stores right in the little area where we were,
So you got to enter into the world of Jenny Kane, simple,
World of Jenny Kane.
stylish, cozy, chic.
Yes.
Right?
So there was the clothing store and there was the home store. We've mentioned home before. So there was so much stuff that my friend was interested in. No, you got to go home and you got to order this with our special URL.
That's true.
That's the way.
That's the way this works when you roll with Lizzie D. Yeah.
Exactly.
You get 15% off your first order at jennykane.com when you use the promo code SISTERS. And Jenny Kane is JENNICAYNE.com. Whether you're dressing for work or errands or a night on the town or just want to cocoon yourself in cashmere or the luxe cotton fisherman sweater or that nice Chloe crew neck for the summer, Jenny Kane is our go-to for effortless, everyday outfitting. So here's what you want to do. To find your forever pieces, go to jennykane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use the code SISTERS at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at jennykane.com, promo code SISTERS, JENNIKAYNE.com. The brand go-to for all season staples. Treat yourself because you deserve it. Thanks, Jenny Kane. It's time for us to sing the praises of Prose once again, and they're truly custom made to order hair care. Switching to a custom routine from Prose was really one of the best things I've done for my hair. Unbelievable. And the results, Liz, the compliments just keep coming in. And
I know, we don't see each other that much in person, even though we both allegedly live in Los Angeles, but it's hours apart. But I see you on video a lot, and your hair looks fantastic. It does. It looks full and fluffy and beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Something right.
Well, I've turned my whole hair care regime over to Prose, Liz, okay? Because Prose knows there's more than what just, your hair type. It's where you live, it's what you eat, it's the kind of exercise you do that all factors into how your hair goes.
Exactly.
So I took the quiz, that analyzed 85 personal factors, and then I got this beautiful combination of Prose shampoo. I have the shampoo, the conditioner. Liz, I have a scalp pre-massage, and then I have a leave-in conditioner after. And then, Liz, I have the Prose hair vitamins, which just puts my Prose regime over the top.
Okay.
So
Well, that explains a lot. That explains because I've got the shampoo and the conditioner, so my hair is super good, just the way I like it. But I'm not I don't have the full lifestyle the way you do.
That's it. I mean, I believe in pros now. So and if you could take the quiz for free, and that's great. And then they'll analyze your hair and they create the custom shampoo for you. They put your name on it, which is great. It's also great that all the ingredients are sustainably sourced, ethically gathered, and cruelty free. And it's the first custom beauty brand to go carbon neutral. So right on. And here's the best thing. It's if you're not 100% positive that Prose is the best hair care you've had, they'll take the products back, no questions asked. So it's just you can't lose with Prose, is what I'm saying. So if you want to order your custom made to order hair care, go to prose.com/sisters. Take the free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. That's prose.com/sisters, prose.com/sisters, and Prose is prose.com/sisters for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off. Thanks, Prose. We're the Satellite Sisters. We're back. Okay, each of us picked some work-related story today to talk about. So that must be that we have returning to work, home co-working, or retirement on our minds. Is that fair to say, sisters?
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, the New York Times Magazine had an entire issue dedicated to the question of what even is a workday anymore. I thought that was pretty thought-provoking, mainly because I've had a bunch of conversations over the last couple of weeks with various people. Like my husband manages an office. He has not required people to return back to work, except a super small subgroup of people who he thinks need some extra attention. And then, in the meanwhile, we went up to Oregon for 2 weeks. You know my husband. He hasn't taken 2 weeks off of work ever in the 30 years we've been married. He would not have been able to do that unless remote work was fine now. Like he wouldn't have had both the emotional and the physical permission to do that until now. Did he work every day when we were in Oregon? Sure, but he could do it remotely. That's a big change from working at an office every single day in Los Angeles. And then I had a conversation with my 25-year-old son. A friend of his has just gotten basically her dream job, right? And she's relatively new to it, 6 weeks. And now at the 6-week mark, they've decided after years of remote work that they want people to come to work 5 days a week. And he is talking about it like she has to go work in a cave for the next 500 days. I mean, that's like some kind of...
Can't imagine doing that.
I feel so bad for her. She has to go to work in an office every day. And I was not super sympathetic because I was like, well, yeah, that's the way work is supposed to work. And then I read this article in the New York Times Magazine, and it was called Meet the Office Whisperers. And it was all about how, it's by writer Emma Goldberg, and it's all about how these CEOs are really panicked. No one wants to come back to work anymore in person. So they've turned to a niche group of consultants to help them figure out how to get some people back in the office at some time. And one of the points they make in the article, which really surprised me, was that the people are speaking. The employees are speaking, because when you look at everything that happened at the pandemic, there was some question like, boy, are people ever going to go back to restaurants again? Will we ever feel comfortable? Oh, yeah. No, people are going back to restaurants,
movie theaters, right? Concerts, people are doing all kinds of
things, right? Travel is up over 2019. Restaurant reservations are up. I mean, just ask Taylor Swift. People are coming to concerts and things like that. But you know what they're not doing? Going back to work. So I wonder what you guys thought about this. Liz, what do you think? This is sort of your area of expertise. Work.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think people actually enjoy the work they do, but don't enjoy commuting, right? So It's people with long commutes. I can totally understand why they don't want to do that. But also friends of mine that I've talked to in more conventional jobs say part of the problem is, even if you do return to work now and they've tried, you get there and there's no one there. Or you get there and you spend the whole day on Zoom calls. So what the heck? Why am I driving to work so that I can be all on Zoom all day and then driving home? So I think one of the hard parts for a lot of these office whisperers is how to get enough people in the same place at the same time to make it worthwhile. But it also sounds to me like most companies are even asking only for 3 days. And if it's me, okay, I obviously, yeah, I've had, some workaholic tendencies my whole life anyway.
Yes.
But I think 3 days of work is like the perfect number. Like if I could have worked 3 days a week most of my career, that would have been a pretty sweet operation.
But see, that's Liz. Listen to what you just said. 3 days a week of work, which is, but they're still paying you for 5 days a week. So this is what employers.
Okay. All right.
This
Well,
is
I'm
the problem.
7 days a week anyway. So
No, I know that. I know. But this is what employers, one of the problems with the remote or the hybrid work model is that, yeah, you're getting 3 days of work when they're in the office, but who knows what's going on that, you may not be getting the same amount of productivity. And
Well, Julie, according to this article, research shows that you are getting the same amount of productivity. A hybrid work model doesn't really harm productivity. It could actually help. I mean, that's from a recent study that people put 40% of the time they save from their commutes back into work. So that's a little bit of this is some of the numbers that are coming out.
And you know what else I would say? Okay, I hate to sound like the boss I was for many years, but like employees that don't really do their work, they're going to not do their work in the office, or they're going to not do their work at home. I just don't.
I think that's true. I do think one of the reasons why there's a big push to get people to come back to the office is because that's where the creativity, the problem solving, the informal conversations, not just
mentorship.
Yes, the mentorship. When you're trying to establish a corporate an organizational culture, I don't think those things are done as effectively long distance. And I think there's research on that.
Yes, Julie, according to a study in Nature that was in this article last year, they found that virtual communication really does curb creativity.
Yeah.
And Liz, to your point, they also have data that backs up what you say, that office attendance, like when people see that their teammates are back in the office, they're more than twice as likely to come back. So the key for these leaders is like, okay, how do we get enough people back in the office so it feels fun again? It feels creative. It feels like, oh, I'm creating these, strong ties with coworkers that will help my career. That's why, and it's not just necessarily, free yoga in the office, although they said that's pretty good, actually. Free yoga does work.
So what are these office whisperers suggesting, Leah? Like what are the actual incentives other than like jetpacks so you don't have to be in your car on a freeway?
Well, they do say that they said like these companies like Disney, Amazon, Apple, Starbucks, okay, most of Wall Street, they've really doubled down on these office mandates. And they said it makes them look like dinosaurs. The old dog doesn't want to learn new tricks, is what they're saying. So they do have to give them a certain amount of flexibility, okay? They get to choose what days they come in, except for an anchor day in which everybody overlaps. They think it's best if employees set attendance expectations in conversations with their teams and managers. And, these rigid back to office plans might not actually work, that they just need flexibility. And they just say like, it's the biggest change to hit the labor market since World War II. Right. So it's not going to be fixed, with a single email that mandates you back to work.
But see, the flexibility, that's the problem. That can be a real problem, too, because you're flexible with one employee and that doesn't work for another employee. And so there may be, a perceived advantage for one employee over another. I mean, one of the reasons you have rigid rules is because it treats all employees the same way. And that sometimes is important.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Julie.
Oh, go ahead, Leanne.
Well, it's interesting you say that because in this article, they cite that workers of color, they often felt marginalized within traditional corporate work structures. So that's why these return to office mandates are particularly hitting them hard. Like they felt like they preferred the remote or hybrid work
at a much higher rate than, say, white office workers, because they felt like the office is best suited to the needs of white men. And returning a person means a return to microaggressions. And then you see the same with mothers of young children. They also feel the same way. So,
Julie, on that point about that's why rules exist, I kind of agree. I mean, one of the challenges, take like 20 years ago, they would say, well, if you can work out a flexible arrangement with your boss, go for it. And what you found is that some bosses would do that. Right. Some bosses would not do that. You know, in general, I observed that female bosses were more flexible, allowing flex time than their employees were, than men were, because their home responsibilities were different too. So, and then of course that turns out to be unfair.
Right. I'm all for flexibility, but if you are running an organization, you also want to create, fairness for all employees, however, whatever that looks like. So, but Leanne, I think it's really true that, that some people really do like to be with their coworkers. They want to work. I think that's the BBC reported this week about a workplace trend that, of course, is happening in Brooklyn, New York, where unrelated people. So these are, this is not, your partner, your spouse or whatever, but they're starting to get together even though they're remote workers, they're starting to get together to work together on unrelated business opportunities because they want to work with other people. So they used to be in the Starbucks and everybody was tapping away. Now people are getting together, like with, like Leanne, you could have other writers come and stay at your house, and that during the day you could both be writing. Or Liz, you could have another marketing person in the other room. Well, not right now because you got that bird flying.
Got the bird. Yeah.
Got the bird flying around in your room. But so do you think that and they were saying the reason they like to work together is so that they can take breaks together, they can have lunch together, maybe talk about their work, collaborate, and you don't get that a lot of times when you're working individually remotely. Do you think that's something that you two would like? A coworker, not your son or husband, Leanne, but Liz, a friend, another coworker friend.
I don't know about that.
No, me neither.
I don't know about that. The hard part about that, I asked myself, well, do I want to be in someone else's home? That feels a little personal.
Right.
And then flip side, would I want someone here? I'm not sure. I'd rather be in a neutral place then. The idea of working with other people, that's why I like going to an office. I really do. I can't imagine over the course of my career, especially like when you're young, like in your 20s, how else are you meeting people? I don't understand. Like if you're not going to an office and meeting all kinds of people that you would never meet in real life, like how do you make friends? Where does your social life come from?
Tinder, Liz. It comes from Tinder. But okay,
I guess. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay, well, Tinder would be worse than home co-working. Sure. Okay.
So, I just would feel super self-conscious. Like I'd have to clean my kitchen every morning and I'd have to, make sure like I swept the dog hairs up in the living room. But I can see if you were in your 20s, it's a good idea to like share some vibes. I've checked out a couple of those co-working options in other places, and then I just get lazy. I don't even want to commute 5 minutes to work. Never mind, 5 hours. But yeah, but if I was in my 20s,
those too, Leanne. I looked at those, and I'm always shocked how expensive they are.
They are expensive. That's it. So
the idea of home co-working certainly solves that problem.
Right.
If you have a space and you have enough space to accommodate people,
you got to have enough bandwidth.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's true. Well, yeah. So, okay, this relates to another story that I was bringing today. I know we've talked a lot about this ongoing study that they've done at Harvard about happy 1938. And the goal is to talk to people over a long time about what makes us happy in life. And so one of the things they do is the researchers gathered health records from 724 people all over the world. And then they asked them detailed questions about their lives at 2-year intervals. So they see the changes in their attitude and everything. And, when people think about the R word being retirement, what people talk about most are things like financial concerns, health problems, or even caregiving because of the life stage that they're in. But when these Harvard researchers actually looked at people who successfully made the transition into retirement, they said the number one thing that helped them do that was having friends, was really the number one thing they missed about work was being able to interact with people, the sort of social element of work, and that was a lot of where they got their meaning and purpose. So
Sure.
they have examples of, they got a lot of meaning from, say, their hobbies, especially after retirement. But it's especially true if their hobbies are things they do with other people. So it really is the people. It's like what we've said about the Big Fun Weekend. It's the people. It's the being together. And they had one example of a guy who was a doctor for 50 years. And when they said, well, what do you miss about that? He said, absolutely nothing about the work itself. I miss the people and the friendships. And I think that all ties back to, the whole return to work, how to get people to return to work, or how do people feel like it's meaningful for them to make the effort to go to work. You're creating both those strong ties, because these are your future friends for the rest of your life, and also the weak ties of just being around people and having casual relationships with them. And I think one thing we all learned during the pandemic is both of those things are super important.
Okay. So if we work at home alone, I mean, I don't have any friends all day, so I can never retire is basically what you're saying.
Yeah. Right.
No, but remember, Leah, before the pandemic,
Right.
we went to work. We worked in a studio.
We did work in a studio.
With Sergio.
Right.
Yes. So we would go once a week to our studio, and not only would it be you, me, and Sergio, but we would meet all the other people working on other shows. It was just fun to be able to interact. So those would have been like the definition of weak ties. But,
Right.
But it was meaningful. Plus,
It was meaningful. Yeah.
we got to use their copiers, and so we didn't have to buy our own paper or tone.
Yeah, we like that. And the coffee. Yeah.
That was
free
super
coffee.
You didn't like the commute, though. Neither of you liked to commute. So
One day a week, it was fine. Every day a week, it would have been rough.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, good discussion. Hey, I did want to share a parenting tip that I saw that I thought, wow, this really makes sense. I was reading about it. It's a technique called looking loudly. Have either of you heard about this?
No.
Okay, so let's imagine you're at a park or a play yard with a child, and the child is on one of the climbing structures, and you get into a conversation with someone next to you on the bench, or you're looking at your phone, and then all of a sudden the child is not there. Well, normally when that happens, your first reaction is to start yelling the child's name, like Leon, Leon, Leon. Of course, that's not a good example because people don't recognize Leon as a name, but let's just say. But what looking loudly says, what is more effective is if you start yelling, I'm looking for a little girl in a pink shirt, blue shorts. Little girl, pink shirt, blue shorts.
Oh.
And right, because then it alerts the other adults to
really help you look.
To visually find that a little girl, pink shirt, blue shorts, because they don't know the name Leon. They don't know what that is, and the child may or may not hear the name, or might not want to go to a stranger, but that other adult can help to find where the child is.
That's a good technique, Julie.
Excellent. I thought that was really helpful, because it happens all the time. You look away and and they're gone, and you don't know, and hopefully 100% of the time, you find them again. I also think this technique may work when you're with middle-aged women on a women's weekend and one wanders off. You could just start yelling, purple shirt, Lululemon tights, pretty good highlights. Where are you? Don't you see this?
Okay, you can try that out on our big fun weekends.
Okay, if we lose anyone.
Oh, that is funny. That is such a smart idea, though, in general. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, stay with us. We're the Satellite Sisters. We're so happy to welcome Storyworth back to Satellite Sisters as a sponsor. Storyworth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones connect through sharing stories and memories and preserves them for years to come. So, Jewel, imagine you're looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift for someone in your life. Maybe it's your mom or your grandmother or an aunt that's been very special, or a mother figure that you want to reach out to and do something special for. This is a great choice for a Mother's Day gift, because Storyworth will email your mom a thought-provoking question of your choice from a vast pool of possible options. And then each unique prompt asks questions you never thought of, like what's some of the best advice your mother gave you? Or if you were to do it all over again, what would you do differently? And then the mom in your life answers those questions. And after a year, you get a beautiful keepsake book that the whole family can enjoy for generations. Doesn't this sound like a great idea?
Leanne, it's wonderful. You know how much we love telling stories. We love talking about our childhood, our mom. So this is so easy and fun, and it will be meaningful and thoughtful to the special person in your life.
Right. Give all the moms in your life a meaningful gift you'll both cherish for years. Storyworth. Right now, for a limited time, you'll save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/satellite. And Storyworth is STORY, story, and then worth, WORTH, storyworth.com/satellite to save $10 on your first purchase. Storyworth.com/satellite. What a great gift idea. Liz, guess what I made last night with my ButcherBox ground turkey?
Oh, what? Like turkey meatballs or something?
I did, Liz, but with a twist. Okay, with a twist, Liz. They're Thai turkey meatballs.
Oh.
And then I cooked them in like a coconut milk Thai curry sauce. I mean, that's pretty
Did you just make
advanced.
that up yourself? How'd you do that?
Liz, I spotted a turkey recipe on the internet, Liz. All of it. And then I thought to myself, well, that sounds delicious. And then I realized I have all the ingredients for that.
Oh.
I always order ground turkey from ButcherBox because I love ground turkey. B, it's super versatile. And C, like those ButcherBox cuts of meats, they're so high quality and they're so delicious. I love having them around. And then I had all the other ingredients, even coconut milk, Liz. I mean, that's the kind of gal.
That's crazy. Well, sometimes I use the ButcherBox recipes, and the key words for me is when I see the words weeknight friendly, Leah.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the whole advantage to having a ButcherBox subscription anyway, because you've got this stuff. It's here. It's right there in your freezer, all the stuff that you pre-ordered. But the weeknight friendly recipes, when you've got a larder like you do, you can just whip that stuff right up. It's delicious. So
Because you're whipping up quality meals on a budget, because premium meals don't have to come at a premium price. ButcherBox provides you with the best meat and seafood on the planet, so you can whip up quality meals on your budget. And guess what? This is fantastic news. Get free chicken thighs for a year and $20 off your first box when you sign up today. That's 3 pounds of bone-in chicken thighs free in every box for a year, plus $20 off your first order when you sign up at butcherbox.com/sisters and use code SISTERS. Claim this deal at butcherbox.com/sisters and use code SISTERS. Thanks, ButcherBox. We're back. We're the Satellite Sisters. I think I mentioned earlier in the show, but I'm just going to say it again. I promise not to beat this into the ground, although Liz tells me I should beat it into the ground more. My novel, Lost and Found in Paris, is out in paperback today. So it should be available at your indie bookstore. It should be available at your favorite online retailer. If it should be available for your whole book club. or for Mother's Day gifts, or just to thank the people in your life, or if you're going on a trip to Paris. It's an art history mystery. And I'm so happy that it has the opportunity to be out in paperback, and it's out today. I'd like to thank all the Satellite Sisters who came to see me speak this week in Orange County. There was a surprising number of Satellite Sisters there. Well done.
Nice.
Well done. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people who I've seen at various events over, last time I saw Judy, for instance, was in February 2020, right before the pandemic. So she came. Thank you, Judy. And she said, I'm not going to Minneapolis. So noted, Judy. Got it. Jeannie and Joan were there from the beach communities. Had a whole nother crew, Maggie and a crew there that had been at another event in the same event in February 2020. So it was really fun to see some familiar faces in the audience. So thank you so much. Tonight, Tuesday, April 18th, if you're listening now, I am doing a virtual event on Crowdcast. You can sign up at leandolan.com on my events page. I'll spread the link around. That's just an Ask Me Anything tonight. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm just doing that to celebrate the book. But if you have any questions about my writing or your writing or podcasting or whatever, it's just going to be a super cash event. So that's it. But it is launched out into the world, the paperback version. Thank you very much.
Well done. Congratulations.
Hooray.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we mentioned this at the top of the show. If you live in Southern California, this is the time of year where we have no news at all except for news about Coachella. And
It's true. It's true. It's fun. It's fun news. I like the Coachella season. Yeah, I like it.
Coachella is the music festival that takes place in the desert, not too far from Los Angeles, out by Palm Springs. It's very cool. Of course, I've never been, but it's in every business section, every cultural section, every fashion section. It's TV, radio, whatever. It's all about Coachella. But I did see a story that's Coachella adjacent that I thought, well, this doesn't sound impossible. And it's this. You may or may not know that Captain Crunch is celebrating their 60th birthday. Did you know that?
Oh,
No, I didn't. Okay, I did not.
I wasn't even aware it was still around. Okay.
Okay, it's still around. Well, I think that's why they're doing a few things. So they're doing a 60th birthday celebration all year for Captain Crunch, and part of it starts this weekend at the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, and so we're calling it Crunchella, but it's basically a Captain's Cove party at the Margaritaville Resort in Palm Springs in the morning, where you can come. They're going to get you glammed up. Obviously, there's a lot of cereal-related tasting opportunities. They said there will be a cocktail bar. I'm not sure what the Captain Crunch connection is to the cocktail bar. But anyway, it just sounded like, yeah, it just seemed like if you're not cool enough for Coachella, maybe the 60th birthday party for Captain Crunch is more up your alley. But also, I always, when I hear these marketing ideas, most of all, I like to imagine the meeting where the young people in the meeting convinced the old people in the meeting that the brand had to go to Coachella. I love that. That's like a TV show right there. The youngs convincing the olds that Captain Crunch belongs at Coachella. So anyway, good for you, youngs on the Captain Crunch brand team. I salute you. And then there was another thing I read, an entertainment idea that I thought, we can take this a step further if we really work on it. So they announced that the Ab Fab star, Joanna Lumley, you probably remember.
I love that show. Yes.
So Joanna played Patsy, and Jennifer Saunders played Adina.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but anyway, they announced, how they're announcing all the people that will be entertaining at King Charles's coronation. Most of those go right over my head. But Joanna Lumley is going to guest anchor the Sky News coverage of the coronation. She's going to
be fun.
She will
In character, or is
well,
she...
that's the thing, Julie. I think it could be more fun than what they are imagining. So she's going to be with the royal commentators, Alistair Bruce and Kay Burley and Anna Botting. But I think it'd be much more fun if Joanna Lumley was playing Patsy and Jennifer Saunders was playing Dinah, and they did it in character. That's the way you're going to get me to watch this coronation. I'm not sure whether there are any other ways, because, they were always very kind of uncensored.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Satirical, were super bitter, but also super buzzed most of the time.
I was going to say super drunk, which nobody even does drunk anymore. But yeah, super drunk.
I mean, that was.
I'm just saying that's your way to cover the coronation. I'm just putting it out there. You have until Saturday, May 6th to figure this out, people in Britain. But that is a version of the coronation that I would watch. That is all.
You heard it here from marketing genius Liz Nolan. Okay, thank you. Hey, it's time for Satellite Sisters, Entertaining Sisters, and I would like to give a big thank you to Sherry in our Facebook group, Satellite Sisters Facebook group. Usually at this point in the podcast, we recommend things to watch or listen to or see to you. But Sherry's been in our Facebook group, and she said you have to check out Leanne Morgan, Every Woman, on Netflix. Leanne Morgan is a comedian. Liz and Leanne, I'm sure you know who she is. She has a new show on Netflix. And Sherry said it's if you want to laugh, if you want to have some fun. So I took Sherry's recommendation, and a lot of the Satellite Sisters have done that as well. So this is just if you want a good laugh. And I think if you have a spouse, or if you've ever been on a diet, or if you've ever had a hot flash, or you shop at TJ Maxx, you are going to like the material that Leanne Morgan covers. It's well done. So thank you, Sherry, for the recommendation. But check it out, Leanne Morgan, Every Woman on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, I checked her out, Julie. I appreciate the fact that she also started her life as a comedian sort of later in life, too.
Yes.
So
She started selling jewelry, at-home sales. And what she would do is she'd test out some of her jokes on her groups of women that she was selling jewelry to.
That's funny.
That's how she got started as a comedian, as a stand-up comedian.
That's good. I enjoy watching comedy specials. I just find that's a very relaxing way to spend an evening. So that's great. That's a good tip. I haven't seen this one. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right. I have a podcast suggestion. You've probably seen that Julia Louis-Dreyfus has a brand new podcast. And it's sort of related to what we were just talking about. And I was just looking, I didn't write down the name of the podcast. What's the matter with me? It's called Wisdom something or other. Somebody wants to go
look it up. I'll look it up while you're
Liz. You keep talking.
Material.
Okay. So, who doesn't love Julia Louis-Dreyfus? She's actually been a guest on Satellite Sisters. We just love her. But the premise for this podcast is that we don't pay enough attention to older women. We don't ask them what they think. We don't care what they think. They're not covered in the media. So she just decided at this point in life where she's getting older, she wanted to talk to women who are older than her about what lessons did they want to share about aging or about anything. I think it's called
Wiser Than Me. Wiser Than Me.
Okay. So she's seeking the wisdom of women older than she is. And of course, she's hilarious. So, even though that's a serious mission, these are very fun episodes. The two that have already dropped are Jane Fonda and Isabel Allende.
Oh.
And, yes, Isabel Allende, right?
I'm trying to listen to that, Leanne. That sounds great.
Isabel Allende had a fascinating life and all kinds of things that I didn't really know about. Like, for instance, when she was 15, her mother got married, and the guy she married, her stepfather was a diplomat, and her mother and her stepfather moved to Turkey. So she stayed behind in Chile, and while her mother was in Turkey, and they got into the habit of writing to each other every single day. And from that point on to the day her mother died, she wrote to her mother every single day, and her mother wrote to her. I just find that fascinating.
Oh my gosh.
She-
Lovely.
Leanne, she said she has something like 37,000 letters from her mother.
How
And,
nice is that? Oh
really
gosh. Wow, that's extraordinary.
and some of it very quotidian, kind of, here's what I did today. But she said a lot of it was very, because Julia Louis-Dreyfus asked her, like, was it appropriate stuff? She's like, no, some of it was not appropriate at all. Telling me, like, the ins and outs of her life, things that maybe her teenage daughter didn't want to know. But as a result, I knew my mother unbelievably well.
I bet. Right?
So that was a really interesting conversation. Jane Fonda was a really interesting conversation. Jane Fonda, interestingly to us, because we've interviewed Jane Fonda, she said the one thing she missed in her life that she regrets now is female friendships. And she just never spent any time on that until she was already halfway through her life. That she was always so focused on what did men think of her, what did men want from her, that she really regrets not getting on that sooner. One more thing about the Isabel Allende interview. At the end, she asked Julia Louis-Dreyfus, like, are you going to edit this for the bad language? And Julia said, well, you didn't use bad language. And she said, no, I mean you. You use a lot of bad. So, it's not quite Veep level bad language, but if you're sensitive to that, that's just a little bit of a warning. And some of the upcoming interviews, get this, Darlene Love is coming up. I would love to hear what Darlene Love has to share with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And Carol Burnett is coming up.
Oh, great.
Wiser Than Me, brand new podcast. It's like an hour discussion. I really, really enjoyed it.
Again, it's shocking that, 10 years ago, Liz Dolan told us do not use the word podcast in any of our marketing materials because it's too embarrassing. And now Julia Louis-Dreyfus has a podcast.
I know. Yes. I was going to start this story with just a little bit of a preamble. Personally, I'm getting tired that almost all podcasts now are famous people talking to other famous people.
Yeah, I
think good. I think that's a shame. So I had sort of said I'm not going to start listening to any more of those. But Julia Louis-Dreyfus, obviously, you make an exception.
Yes.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
You have to rise above your own principles.
Like, I enjoy all of this, but like, okay, enough about celebrities talking to celebrities. I think I'm full. Okay, so now we'll go back to my new identity, of course, is Lizzie D on the socials. So I would like to thank, I pitched this last week as a concept. I was talking about my friend Howard White back in my days at Nike. He is now played by Chris Tucker in the new movie called Air. And really the only one at work that ever called me a nickname that I enjoyed was Howard White. Howard White, whenever he would see me, he would say, Lizzie D, how are you doing? And so I tried that out last week and people seem to like it, you guys. Like,
it's good, Liz. You've never really had a nickname other than Liz, which has really become your name. So,
Lizzie D is not something you would expect from me, right? So anyway, Lizzie D on the socials. I just want to highlight a couple of the fun stuff happening in the various social media platforms where the Satellite Sisters exist. So first of all, the Facebook group. It's a private group. People know they can say whatever they want, and they do. So thank you. And so a couple of really fun things there this week. Sue Lehman Goldberg is on an epic trip to Australia and New Zealand. The latest photos and videos that she posted were a tour of the Dart River in New Zealand. And didn't that look amazing, you guys?
I mean, her whole trip has been amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Sue, so much for posting. We really enjoy it.
Yeah. And so if you ever want to, we love your vacations, please,
please take one, take another one, get out of those caves. All right. Yeah. Get on vacation.
And if you remember, either in Facebook or on Instagram, use the hashtag SatSistersTravel. Then we can we have a whole bunch of stuff collected under that hashtag. So SatSistersTravel, go for it. Jennifer, Leah, you wanted to give Jennifer a shout out for keeping the prom and graduation photos coming, right?
Yes. Yeah.
With her daughter.
Right. A lot of beautiful ones. Just keep them coming. We love seeing the prom photos and the graduation photos and any wedding photos you might have, anything like that. Just keep, that's very positive.
All photos. Just keep sending. Yes.
Yeah.
Cheryl, yes to the snake gators. We took a vote.
Yes.
Cheryl is going for a hike at Ghost Ranch, New Mexico this coming Friday. She just knows it's snake season. She was seriously thinking about the snake gators. Julie, you're a yes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I believe in that. Yes.
Yeah.
Respect.
Leanne, you're a yes? You're a yes?
Oh, my God. Well, I'm a no to hiking, but I'm a yes to snake gators.
Yeah. Respect the snake. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just here to support you, Cheryl. So yes on the snake gators. I did a brief update this weekend on the Year of the Legume, so you can see my salad. Jenny just put "look at you" in the comments, and I just want to comment, Jenny. I know that if like Julie or Leanne did a beautiful salad, there might not be the shock value of me doing a beautiful salad. So I appreciate just the "look at you" reaction. Because okay. Then you should follow Satellite Sisters on Instagram at Sat Sisters. We've started doing more live Instagrams where we just sort of pop in when the spirit moves us. So you can look at the grid for all the videos if you've missed them live. And there were a couple of good comments about last week's podcast too. Leanne, Stylish Homes, Texas, said she laughed out loud when you pitched the idea of the jitterbug car. That she thought that was really a smart idea.
Thank you.
And then there was another post from Westbound 2015 on the whole brand muffin situation. She's like, "That's so weird. I was just telling my husband that all muffins nowadays taste like cake. I want the brand back." So, yay. Also on Instagram, Leanne has been the queen of music and special effects. So she does that for Satellite Sisters, and she does it for the relaunch of Lost and Found in Paris, the paperback. Today, there was a little bit of La Vie en Rose, Leanne. Nice.
Yes, that's the law on TikTok, is that you have to use that song when you talk about anything French, Liz. That's how TikTok works.
Oh,
Is they
okay.
just want you to use the same thing over and over again. You are penalized for a unique creative idea. So I'm just messing around, and then occasionally I share the TikToks over there on the Instagram. Not all of them, but that was fun. That was fun to do. But yeah, that's the law. You have to use La Vie en Rose.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Lizzie D out.
Okay. All right. That's it for the show today. A big thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you who support our sponsors. We are very lucky to have you as an audience, listeners who really do support these sponsors. It allows us to do the show and carry on week after week. And while a lot of other shows have seen a dip, we have not here at Satellite Sisters, and that's because of you. So thank you very much. We work hard to bring great recommendations to you, product recommendations, and you seem to work hard to actually understand those special URLs, and we appreciate that. A big thanks to Sergio Enriquez, who engineers our show. Thanks also to Emily Loudermilk, who does the graphics. She had some great ones last week. We share those graphics on Instagram and at Pep Talk, which is our weekly newsletter. She did the Big Fun Weekend graphics. So thank you, Emily. Let's see what else. Oh, it's our time for our to-do list. All right. So for me, it's my husband's birthday this weekend. Why is it such a challenge to buy men birthday gifts? Julie, I don't know. Do you have the same problem with Trem?
Yeah. About what to get him.
What do I get? I don't know.
I got him a cup holder this year.
Okay.
Don't tell him. I'm telling you, WeatherTech cup holder. Get it.
All right. Sounds good. I can't figure out what to get him. So I'll tell. Fine. That sounds
Check
good.
it out.
Might like a cup holder, Leanne.
Yeah, for your phone. You know, that cup holder phone thing. Yes. Yeah. Get it. It's good.
Okay. It's problem solved. Problem solved. Liz?
Okay, well, I have a longer list of things I really have to do, but I obviously got to start with getting the bird out of my living room. That's it.
No, Liz.
Top goal for today. Get the bird out. That's
Okay,
all.
Liz. I love that. My to-do is really a report. Last week I took a Navy SEAL nap. I told you about this, where you put your legs above your heart, and then it's supposed to be 8 to 12 minutes. I did not achieve napping because I was watching watching the time the whole time, thinking, how am I possibly going to be relaxed and refreshed in 8 to 12 minutes? So I don't think I really got into the spirit of it. I think I'm going to try it again this week.
Okay.
Okay. But did you keep your legs up for 8 to 10 minutes? Because that's good.
That felt,
Okay.
that felt good. That part of
Very
it
good for
was
you.
good. I would recommend that.
Okay.
And
All right. There you have it. There you have it. All right. Don't forget, registration for Big Fun Weekend is open. So take a look over at satellitesisters.com. You can click through on the homepage to make your buy your tickets and make your hotel reservations. Thank you to everybody who's coming. We are so excited. Oh, a reminder that we are offering like a fantastic Welcome to Minnesota gift basket. If you register before Mother's Day, you are going to be eligible for a beautiful Welcome to Minnesota gift basket when you get to the event. This is the good news, is that we are not mailing this out ahead of time. That's usually my downfall.
Going to win one now. It's not like everyone gets one.
Oh yeah, one person's going to win one. We're going to put all your names in a drawing
Good
event.
point.
One person. Yeah, good point, Liz. So that's why if you need any more incentive, that's it. You could win the Welcome to Minnesota gift basket. So please do that. That's at satellitesisters.com. All right, sisters, have a great week.
You too, Lillian.
And don't forget, call your satellite sister.